What highly illegal thing took place at your high school? High school coach didn't keep tabs on our team during a week-long beach trip to play games in Florida. Parents supplied kids with alcohol. One of my teammates snaps his neck diving into the ocean. Coach fired, kid paralyzed. Literal chaos within our baseball program ensued. It was awful. I transferred. Something similar happened at my high school. A sports team went away on competition, and everyone was drinking one night while the parents, chaperones and coaches hung out elsewhere. One girl ended up way too drunk and fell off a balcony at the hotel and snapped her neck. It was bad. Not sure if illegal, but a girl smeared her own shit all over the bathroom walls and mirrors. Could this count as vandalism? I really want more backstory on this one. Why? Do they know who actually did it? Why? What happened to her? And also, why? Not got a clue. The school didn't end up finding out who did it, but rumors were going around amongst my friends. My friend's girlfriend had been hinting to him about being into scat, which could mean it was her, but yay, nothing happened except the bathroom being quarantined for like 2 weeks. There were 4 freshmen in the bathroom stall just vaping, and a teacher came in, so they freaked out and didn't want to get in trouble, so they thought calling the cops on the teacher for harassment would get them out of trouble. They got expelled an hour after the cops arrived. 300 IQ. Between them, yeah. This was middle school, but our computer teacher was fired after they caught him watching porn in the computer lab during lunch. Rumor has it, he was watching on the big projector screen they use for teaching. My gym teacher, originally a health ed teacher, got caught twice doing that and jerking it. All they did was turn him into the gym teacher, then made him back into the health teacher. He was preparing to demonstrate what he taught in health ed. Well, sex ed teachers do say that masturbation is healthy. Not the ones I had in Utah. The cool gang of kids, not me, I've never been anywhere near cool, got into a dare contest which ended up with one of them having to get a pair of knickers from a particular girl. She didn't want to play the game. So he ended up cornering her in a boy's toilet and cutting them off her with a knife. We never saw him at the school again. All games were banned. Wait, he forcibly cut off her underwear? I only heard the rumors that went round the school. There was some confusion about whether he did it or just tried to, but there was no doubt that was the intention. It was purely about getting the knickers, but that was plenty bad enough. Little bit of backstory first. Our school had a big renovation ongoing, and because of that, almost half of the school was closed down. The closed part included the biggest bathrooms, and because of that, the school administration ordered 2 toilet barracks to be placed on the schoolyard. So, some 7th-9th graders decided to buy some toilet pipe opener liquid, I don't know what is the correct term, and aluminium foil. They put the aluminium foil inside some plastic bottles and poured a little pipe opener in them with the foil. As someone has probably done this before, knows what is going to happen next. They stuck 6 bottles total inside the toilet bowls in every stall of one barrack and blew them up due to the chemical reaction between the foil and the opener. All the pipings of the single barrack were destroyed due to water pressure inside the pipes. Turns out that the 2 barracks have connected pipings, and the water that was in the bowls in the other barrack shot up to the ceiling due to pressure. The students never got caught, and if I remember correctly, the incident ended up costing a hefty amount for the school administration. The barracks were taken away, and were replaced with new ones. After the incident, every recess there was a teacher in front on the barracks monitoring everyone going in and out. Nothing happened to the new toilets. Pre-internet days, kinda, CDs were a thing. I had a massive CD collection in a gigantic book in my locker. I typed up lists of all the artists and albums I owned. So I had these flyers everywhere, and for $3 a CD I'd burn you a copy. This was right when CD burners came out, and my stepdad was super into the latest and greatest tech, so we had the cool gadgets when they came out. I eventually was caught, but for a time I made killer money. What happened after you were caught? I don't remember if it was a week of detention or ISS. Either way, worth it. Our football coach took off with one of the girls in the high school and moved to Mexico and married her. He had a wife and kids. They then hired a brand new football coach who was 23 years old. Before the end of his first year, he was hooking up with an 18-year-old senior girl. They also took off and went somewhere. We went without a coach for a couple years. I had a male teacher in high school who had a lot of chemistry with this one girl in my class. They never did anything inappropriate, but like they had great banter and got along great. We'd all joked that she had a crush on him and that they were going to get together. We even joked that they were already secretly hooking up, but we didn't really think they were. They were married 5 years later and have 2 kids and couldn't be happier. It made all of us wonder if something was going down while she was in high school. They both swear nothing happened until she randomly bumped into him at the supermarket when she was visiting home for the holidays. Parents were outraged when they found out. The school couldn't fire him because there was no proof. Eventually they got tired of the awkward stares and moved away. They've been married like 8 years now, and from what I can see in social media are still going strong. Drama teacher slept with the hottest chicks in class and nothing ever happened to him. They would never be able to prove it. Don't you know all drama teachers are gay? The reason nothing came of it is because the girls were consenting and never told anyone. To them it was a fling that they chose. But as an adult now you look back at a guy in his 30s sleeping with at least 2 16-year-olds, and criminal is the only word that comes to mind. He was the coolest guy in the room to women and even to most of the guys. But my group was always like, this guy is too cool, something doesn't feel right here. His ability to shape-shift seamlessly between being a teacher/authority figure and a peer was impressive at the time. Now I would probably see right through it. And obviously aided by some oblivious parenting that allowed the girls free rein to rehearse plays as much as they wanted. Including at his house. I don't think they knew about this. Including Saturday nights until 2 to 3 a.m. Sometimes one-on-one. Seems insane now. But culted personality can get you a lot of rights that you wouldn't have otherwise. I now feel like I had a really tame school experience. Seriously, I wasn't even solicited to buy weed in high school. And people in here talking about murders and teachers getting students pregnant. Fight clubs, why didn't we have a fight club? That would have been awesome. Maybe there was and you just didn't hear about it. At least some people are still following the rules. A teacher and an administrator embezzled millions. I didn't even know all this happened until years after graduation. Some of my friends had the teacher in question. Millions? At a high school? Not that hard to believe. My school district employs about 860 teachers with an average salary of $78K, so that's about $67 million being paid towards just teachers alone. So if you take into account all the other funding the school receives, computers, janitors, administrators and sports teams, then for some top admins to be fudging some numbers over the years can very quickly add up to over $1 million if they are smart about it. Female freshmen would hang out in a teacher's classroom almost every day after school. People thought he was just a club sponsor and that she was very involved. A few weeks into the semester they were caught by police in an Airbnb and he was arrested. So somebody had been onto them. You don't just catch someone in an Airbnb. A teacher sexually harassed like 12 students. The issue is everybody loved that guy. He won Best Teacher award like 2 days before his arrest. P.S. No, this isn't Persona 5, this actually did happen. I'm not making a clever joke about Kamoshida, although I probably would have. This was a real guy, one Mr. Chu. How did people find out? One of the students went to the police. He sent unsolicited photos to them and demanded they did the same or he would expel them. One of the kids went to the police with the records of their conversation. After that all his other victims had the courage to speak out. Kids were selling candy and snacks to other students, obliterating the monopoly that the vending machines once held. Administration cut that shit out real quick. My school tried stamping that out. When they realized that was infeasible they instead started a market in the small gym during lunch. Charged $5 a day for a table. One of my friends made a couple of grand from running a table for a year. This sounds like an awesome school. My golf coach got arrested in Kansas for driving with a spare tire full of cocaine. Idiot, you put air in tires. To be fair, someone told him he needed snow tires. The puns in this thread are strong. Much like the Coke tires. Better than Pepsi, that's for sure. Over spring break one year, the entire hockey team and the cheerleaders all went to rehab. The goalie was dealing coke to all of them. Sounds like a bad goalie letting them all score. Nice. Thanks. I interviewed to teach at a high school once. One of the questions from the school board was, can you avoid sleeping with your students? Me, yes I can. School board thinks I'm great, principal thinks I'm great. Superintendent of schools doesn't think I'm cut out for the job, gives me the runaround. Principal is trying to help me push through it and get hired, but I finally give up and get a normal job elsewhere. Superintendent hires his nephew, wonder why he gave me the runaround? Who promptly has sex with a student and gets fired. I still see the principal occasionally, he always apologizes, I wanted to hire you. He's way too nice to have been stuck at that lousy school. Good to know there are still principals with principals. I had a middle school principal that knew every kid by name and would greet us in the morning off of the bus. He was awesome. This year the fire alarm's gone off twice BC of kids smoking weed in the bathroom. Freshmen vape in plain view of teachers and no one cares. Someone got shot during an after-school drug deal a couple months ago. Edit more. Freshman year my Spanish teacher got arrested for physically stalking a former student, who he'd been having sex with since before her 18th birthday. Edit even more. We're supposed to have pep rallies about 8 to 10 times a year. About 9 of the last 12 scheduled pep rallies have been cancelled due to fist fights and credible shooting threats. Edit 3. 2 sophomores died last summer in a drunk driving incident. Crashed into a tree at some ridiculous speed. The driver survived but his passengers queue. Edit 4. My mom got an email from my brother's middle school sometime in January saying some kid got caught with a 6-inch saw blade and a hit list. Super bizarre. My brother hadn't heard about it until my mom showed him the email the next day. Someone in my English class said their brother's name was on the list. Someone in my math class recently snorted 2 Adderalls between classes. I've got tons more of these but I'm gonna try not to add anything else. See you on a future post when I dredge up more repressed memories. Where the F do you go to school?